Hey everyone, it is day 33 of my study abroad adventure, and I have not vlogged in probably 5 days or so, something like that. And I meant to very much so, but I also was procrastinating, and as in the last vlog I talked about a roller coaster of emotions, that proceeded for the next day, and then I watched a nice YouTube video that cleared that up for me really well, and then also the weekend I dived into a book and kind of forgot about my life for a while, which my life isn't bad. It's not that like I want to escape, but there's always, when you get a good movie or a good book that after a half an hour you're like, wait, I haven't been thinking about anything else beyond this. Is really nice and rare moments, and I kind of dived into this weekend, so I'm feeling much better. But I had trouble sleeping, and I think I've been a little bit dehydrated, so that's also left me a little not so enthusiastic. But I'll catch you up. So last time I talked to you about Tuesday, second day of classes. Next day, Wednesday, I did class, which started with the practicum meeting. We talked with our teacher that we're going to do practicum with. Practicum is where I'm going to visit schools, write reflections on the schools we visit, and then prepare a lesson. I guess that's essentially it. I will teach a lesson at a school that teaches math and English at some point later in the semester, and I write reflections. Oh, third project is I have to find a specific thing that I will be observing specifically in the schools and write a report at the end of the semester. So that's practicum, and it was just the general meet and greet sort of meeting, a syllabus type thing, no homework. Well, homework, I need to write up what I'm trying to observe at this weekend, like what happened, like a little chart thing. Good thing I'm vlogging, reminds myself I have homework. But it was very, very good. The teacher is nice. I'm happy. I did get Wednesday. That is absolutely final. I am doing Wednesdays, which means Fridays are free. But, so we did that. Then we had lunch, and then we finally had games, and games just start at 12:30 both Monday and Wednesday, which means we have 45 minutes to half an hour of lunch Monday and Wednesday, so my lunches are less stressful now. I could run downstairs and get something in that cafeteria probably at this point if I needed to. It's tiny and stuff or across the street to that cafeteria, but packing lunch is going to be efficient, and I'll be able to eat and not stress out so much. So now if I just actually make dinners beyond corn and potatoes and eat breakfast, I might officially adulting here soon. But did that in the games, and I'm excited about it. It is kind of stressful because she teaches 5th grade, 5th and 6th grade, and has this time off somehow. I don't understand the scheduling, but she has this time off that she can come teach us when normally she's teaching 5th and 6th graders. And so she talks about what her students actually did when she did this. Like what she's teaching us is what she does, using games and manipulatives in her classroom. And so I really appreciate it. I think it's great. I think it's the level of kids I think about teaching. Some of the other kids, I think, went high school, so it's a little bit below what they're wanting to teach, so they're struggling with it. And what's tough is she definitely challenges our natural instinct. Last week was a couple of us got frustrated with, we want to praise students who do a good job, and instant gratification, instant help, give hints that lead to the answer, and she wants you to not do anything that helps them, almost. Like, so we were doing this, it had like a 0 through 99 board, a 10 by 10 square, and you had to put rooks from chess, the ones that go horizontal and vertical, put as many as you can on the board without killing each other. And she's saying, if the answer's 10, sorry people who maybe want to do this stuff, I'm just going to blurt out the answers. The answer is 10. It's not a hard one. You'll figure it out pretty easily. And she says, well, what do you do if someone has 9? And we're like, well, we want to say, there might be one more. You should try one more or something. And she's like, no, I always ask, even when they have 10, can you put any more? And have classmates help. So it's good stuff. I'm excited. I think it's good stuff. I'm like, I get it, but it's so against her instinct. And she talked about a kid who instantly started explaining the reasoning for why there's only 10. This was an autistic kid, she said, so it's only happened once that someone, and like explained it mathematically, it's not just words. I mean, he said the full out proof, and my instinct, and I said, it was like, I just would praise him. I mean, that's fantastic, way to go. Well, she said she had slowed him down and made him detail by detail explain it to the class so the rest of the kids could catch up. And it's like, you're right, it's just so against my instincts, and I don't know how well American students now work with that. I feel like they would shut down too soon for me to thoroughly give that out, unless you train them. I mean, that's the big thing, is we need to improve math education so things like that can happen and not kill the drive too soon. So, I like it. It's a little bit stressful because you're just like, I know, but I had that class again today, so, and for that class all we do is a reflection every day from after class about what we learned, so then we remember all these things, because it's very specific skills, which I actually don't mind if the whole semester long we're learning specific things that we get to use for specific subjects, because sometimes it's so broad, or so you need to go find it, it's like, this is real things, and we're talking math. So, I mean, unlike a normal education class where we have all the subjects, so it has to be broad, these are very specific things. Like today we talked about integers, how are we going to teach integers, and we talked about numbers and money and number lines, and adding and subtracting, multiplying, games with that, and it was really good. I appreciate it, I think it'll be good. And then I teach November 14th. I guess you just teach. We get to teach whatever we want. Sort of like a micro teaching at Bethel, but not a micro, I guess. I guess it's going to be a full-fledged lesson, and I don't know if we have to include a game or a manipulative or something. I'll ask questions, or she'll explain later. But the first student teaches in 2 weeks, but I teach November 14th. We signed up today. Also, we will make our own game. I guess by the end of the semester we have to make our own game, but she says by the end of the semester you'll be a pro, so it doesn't matter anyway. But there's no final. That's essentially the class. And practicum has no final, so my finals will be Monday. I have the math final, and then probably Tuesday I'll have both the problem post-on method and the problem solving final, and then I'll have Wednesday off, and Thursday's the farewell party when December comes around. And then I don't leave till the following Tuesday, because that's when flights were affordable, and so I'll have a fun weekend. But the 15th of December is essentially the last day, and a lot of the students will be leaving either that day or the day after. So, nice to know I know my schedule. I like to know that thing. So after games, I just had a relaxing evening. I don't quite remember. I think I was avoiding writing the reflections, so relaxing, in quotations. Kind of evening, not doing a whole lot. I forgot that night I took the cruise is what I did with the BSM people. So this is just the boat and the picture I took from that cruise. Like I said, I was definitely moody there for a couple days. I think it has to do with dehydration and the amount of exercise and things I'm getting, and sleep and things. So video that night helped me kick myself into shape, and then I went to bed. And so Thursday I had my 8 o'clock. So unless we go to schools on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, Thursday's my 8 o'clock where I have the abstract algebra, which again I had that today, and I know I'm not gonna get anything out of the class. I'm gonna have to sit down really hard on this homework and just figure it out, because, I mean, today finally it was like, oh, I kind of know what's going on, what you're saying, but I guess implicating why we're learning it and what to do with it and where this is just coming from is where it struggles for me, is I feel like I'm swimming. I just jumped in deep end and I don't know where the shore went. So, but I'll figure it out. It's not really any different than how I do most math classes in college anymore, so it's no big deal. And there are some people in the class that are uber smart, so hopefully I can get a study buddy that helps me out. And then normally that's when we would have the practicum time to chit chat, but we didn't have that last week because we hadn't visited any schools, obviously. So I met with Rika, is the director and our advisor, tell her what classes I was doing, talked a little bit about the schooling I had growing up. Really just quick, short, nice conversation. She's so sweet. I love her. I'm so happy she's doing this, and I think she's really happy to be leading this program and trying to get it off its feet and everything. So it was a good chit chat, and then I just explored the campus a little bit. Went and found the gym. Here's a picture where my salsa class will be, which should be on Tuesday night, so tomorrow night. Then the weight room, and it's all at a veterinarian college across the street. Did not realize that the other college that we explore would be veterinarian, and so it's really cool. And there's supposed to be a cafeteria there. I couldn't find it, but I'm just gonna try not to do that and just pack my lunch. That's my goal. Wandered, ended up in the classroom just hanging out until Poisson method and then problem solving. Nothing different this time. Again, just got problems, worked them out. This time we got homework that I've been working on tonight. It's not due till Thursday, but I have the Poisson method one answered. I just need to write it up in LaTeX. I have 2 out of my 3 done for problem solving, so I just need to do another one, and I might put that off till tomorrow or even Wednesday because it's not due till Thursday. But after that, went to a pizza party / board game time, because I guess Thursday's their time they decided to do these things, because this week there's a talk at 4:30. I need to decide if I'm going to that too. So, and I played with Steffi and Nick a little while. We played some BS, and it was a slapjack game, but a little bit more details than just normal slapjack. I don't quite remember the name that Steffi taught me. And then we played competitive solitaire. It's where you play at the same time, but you can use each other's aces, and you just try to be the first one to finish. So, which is fun. And we chit-chat. I think she wants to teach close to the same level. Like, she might do 8th and 9th. So I felt that in class. Like, her and I are like very much on the same wavelength about teaching and the subjects we want to teach and how we want to teach. So I'm excited. Like, it's nice to have someone that is on the same wavelength, because there's a lot of the other ones that want to teach calculus, and there's one who wants to go on and end up getting his doctorate and teaching at a college level. Like, this variety, which is great. It's very good. It gives you a lot of different views and makes you realize what's useful in each subject, but it's nice to have someone who's on the same wavelength as me. So we definitely had a good time. She did invite me to do things with the friend group that my roommates with them and everything, but I ended up not, which is okay by me. So then I came home and ate and didn't do a lot and dived into a book, which I should never do this, because once I dive into a book, a movie, TV series, I don't stop until I'm done. So essentially all weekend, that's what I did, was this book and other things. I mean, that's essentially what I did all weekend, was trying to devour, and I'm not done yet. And I'm pushing myself not to do it, which is again kind of why I didn't vlog. Like, I was definitely easily distracted and wasn't doing a whole lot. Because Friday, that's what I did all day. That's my day off. Which I didn't mind that, but it definitely irritated me that I kept doing it for the next Saturday and Sunday. But Friday night was a fun night. I got to dress up, do my makeup, and went to the club with a couple friends, which I've never actually been to a club before. I've always wanted to go out dancing. It just doesn't seem reasonable on where to find one. But this was hosted by the International Tour Group for international students, essentially. It was supposed to just be international people at this club, but it was started at 10 o'clock at night and was supposed to go till 5 a.m. And I showed up close to 11 even, and it wasn't even started yet. Like, no one was in the club. I was like, what? But, so I went with a friend from my language class, Elena, and she brought Audrey, which spent the weekend. You saw a selfie with those 2 girls, so very good. They both live in the dorms by a college, and they brought another friend and 2 other friends from BSM, and one of them brought their roommate. So there were 6 of us hanging out, and so we played some ping pong at this outdoor bar-like thing that had a ping pong table before we went into the club and danced, and it was lots of fun, but it was noisy, and the fact that it didn't start till after midnight when people were finally in the club, and then we got in there, and definitely awkward. I think everyone was awkward, which was so weird. And the music, and this is why I'm hesitant about going to clubs, is it's so hard to find a club that will play the music you like. And it definitely went back and forth between English and non-English, but the DJs, mess with it, and they do their techno stuff to where it's like, I hear more techno beats than I hear actual lyrics. And like, they played Adele's Hello, but it was upbeat. Like, why? Why is that a thing? So we all burst out laughing at that. But we did that for almost 2 hours. I think we danced, and I was happy. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and it worked. And Elena definitely is a girl after my heart, and we're definitely gonna do some stuff like that again. But it was good. I was gonna wear my pretty heels, but before I even got on the bus, they were making me bleed because, well, granted, my feet are pretty cracked up and bad because I've only worn sandals and haven't been taking care of them, and I feel like the back might have been bent during packing. It made me really sad. So I had to come back and change and go back out, which I am over the 4 flights of stairs up to my apartment. Over them. I guess 3 flights, but here's a picture from the ground up, and I'm over them. And I'm over doing the stairs at the McDaniel College. But hopefully I'll get to the point where I forget that I'm over them. But yeah. Yeah, and I came home that night, found out that the buses don't run after a certain time at night and don't pick up again for a while, which kind of sucked, and the metro. But that's okay. I got home perfectly safe. Slept in quite late after that, and like I said, did the book. I did go to church on Sunday, which is very exciting. I went to the Presbyterian Scottish Missionary church. That's only a 10-minute walk for me, which is great. Regular church service, very small. I like the building is shaped. I didn't get pictures because another group comes in afterwards, and I'll get pictures later. The way it's shaped is you hear the pastor just because of the echo. Like, he doesn't use any microphones. That's also a little obnoxious. Like, I love kids, but in that echoing sound, it was like I can't hear the pastor. It was good. I talked with a girl who has graduated college and is working at nonprofit here to help minorities and refugees. She was really cool, really excited to meet me, and we chit-chat, and I think we'll probably chit-chat again next week. That was really cool, and some older adults. I'm excited. What's exciting, though, is next Sunday is the 175th anniversary of this missionary church. So there's going to be celebrations all day, including in the evening is a Scottish dance folklore song thing. So I'm very excited. And my roommate was saying when she went to the refugee thing today, my church was involved. So this church I went to. So it's really cool that I've stumbled with somebody that's really involved with the community and helping people, and I hope to go back. It doesn't start till 11 o'clock, so it's pretty easy. And then I came back and did some homework, did talk with Mom twice because she went to lunch in the middle, and went to bed. Today, like I said, I had problem solving in game theory. My roommate offered if I helped to make eggplant parmesan because she needed to make her eggplant. So she made, I set up and cleaned up for her because it was her food. I was like, you can do the fun cooking. And it was really good. She did a good job. So I had eggplant parmesan for dinner, which is pretty cool. I also went to the store, and I found the store. Our student coordinator had posted in the BSME group that there was a store that had American products like Pringles and Pop-Tarts and Doritos and tortillas and donuts, the mini donuts. And I went and found it, and I got some Pop-Tarts for breakfast, especially, but it's expensive. It is very expensive, so definitely has to be a guilty pleasure shop and not a regular shop. If I really, really need something. There was the nacho cheese, and I was so tempted, and I love the chips with lime. I just had to say no, just get the Pop-Tarts because they're quick breakfast, your reason for that, and I will try not to go back there too often. Oh, the Pringles. But I'll get that when I get home. So that's motivation. It's I'll get that again. So I need to eat this other stuff, but I will admit, I really would like some nachos. But yeah, otherwise I've done homework. I am doing better. My moves are not so wavy, and hopefully my days will get not so long. Class is long, doing 90 minutes, and sitting in that class for 2 hours, so. But I'm good. I hope you're good. and I will catch you up another day. Thanks for staying tuned to my adventure.